Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Shakida, aka Purpose Joy.
Hey y'all, this is Allison, aka Kill Ensemble.
And welcome to Self-Care Saturday
Teen Care.
And as you may have noticed, we have some awesome special guests here today. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce them so that you can get into this content and we can, get started with conversation. So over here we have Kevin Ray, who's not only my cousin, but the author of the book A Love That Transforms. He has another one that's on the way, and he's also about to drop his first podcast, Stop Pretending, and we're super, super excited about it.
Yes. All right, you guys. We have our next guest, Mr. Daryl. He looks very fashionable, as you can see. He is the owner of Brew Rock Creations, and he's doing great. And he also has an event coming up in November, so stay tuned.
Woo, 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 woo. I'm super excited to have you guys.
Like,
Thank you guys so
right.
much for coming.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all the energy, the feedback, everything. We love it.
Thank you for having us.
In unison.
Come on, right? Really together. Like, thank you for having us. Did you guys practice that before the no forgetting?
He's like, nah.
You did? Yes, you did. You ain't got a lot there. You got a lot. Okay. Just kidding. All right. So basically, we want to start this segment, or the inspiration behind this segment was to kind of let people know that self-care is not just something for women. It is not gender specific.
Yes.
Everyone who's anyone needs to engage in some self-care. Period. That's
Yes.
it. That can be anything from working out to taking care of your body. We counted over and over and over all the different methods that there are, but we want to kind of give you a new perspective. We talk a lot.
We do.
We share a lot of information, but it's always good to make sure that you have somebody else's perspective, somebody else's opinion, and somebody else's ideas to share and grow. So that's what we wanted to do today. Okay. So with Kevin and Daryl here, we're going to talk about teen care.
Yes.
What we can do to support men and to encourage men to participate in effective and healthy self-care.
Right. Exactly what Shekinah said. Self-care is not only for women, but it's for men too. And we want everybody to know that. And we have to actually get men on the show to give y'all honest and genuine feedback about self-care and the positivity of mental health.
All that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the basic but most important question. What is self-care?
Right.
What is
Right.
it?
Who wants to go first?
Pressure's on.
I'll go.
Okay.
Self-care to me is basically your me time.
Yeah.
The whole world gets you, your family gets you, jobs, career, whatever gets you, but you have to take care of you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
that.
Basically, self-care to me is pretty much to piggyback off what Kevin said. It's your me time, but also realizing that you can't satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of my take-ons I want to just with my counselor, she basically tell me you can't be a monkey in everybody's circle.
Mm.
So that's pretty much with that. You just have to, learn how to just be okay and not feel guilty with not trying to please the next person.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is really good. I love that from both you guys. My question is, what are your methods of self-care? Like, what do you guys do?
For me, you can catch me walking in a park. I'm very big on meditating.
Yeah.
Just thinking my thoughts through and what I'm
Right.
thinking about. I ain't gonna lie, I'm hood a little bit. I just go.
That's okay.
Own it.
Go with some soul food. Shout out to Caitlin's and Bessemer.
Oh, it's so good.
you know.
It's so good.
I'm
we
sweet,
need
but
more
I ain't even-
authentic soul food restaurants in our city, I believe. But just taking care of me, I can go get a haircut. That's very refreshing.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Like when girls get their eyebrows done. We feel like we on 10 once we get them eyebrows laid.
Yeah.
Makeup be done. You be like, dang, I look good.
Yeah.
Hold on.
They say once a man gets his haircut, he got all these errands he want to run.
It's a
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every time y'all always on
Oh, yeah.
Snapchat in the car, fresh cut,
Right.
all these angles. We
Yeah.
see. We
Like,
see.
oh, I gotta go to the store. Let me go get some gas. I'm going to my auntie house.
Yeah. And period, I get a spa massage. I mean, I'm talking about the rocks.
Come
everything.
on, all of that. All of that.
Um, I want to get better with manicures and pedicures. I do want to get in that. My sister was having that conversation earlier today, just how some people think it's not manly or, just take care of yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love
Hygiene is
that.
important. It's super important.
Man, it is. It is.
Pretty much self-care for me. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm sober. So it's like that's one of my outlets. Like if I had a long day, I come home, smoke a cigar, smoke a hookah, have a few
Chill.
drinks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Unwind. Like
Yeah, so
unwind.
definitely. Also, I'm now getting on a fitness journey. I'm trying to work out more. Pretty much with COVID, it kind of forced me to do that.
Right.
Yeah. It did a lot of it.
But other than that, you know, I do want to explore more. Like just like Kevin said, manicures, pedicures. Like I had an experience with it, but yeah, it's kind of forced me to, you know, going to get a pedicure when I was working for Mercedes. I had to wear steel toe boots. I didn't know anything about it, so yeah. We gonna leave it at that.
Come on, steel toe boots. That's tough. I can only imagine. Well, what I appreciate the feedback. That was really, really good. But
I love it.
the two things that stood out most to me though, with you guys, one, Dara, that you mentioned that you do see a counselor regularly. And if you don't mind like elaborating on that a little bit, could you? And then the second thing was that both of you all mentioned things that have to do with taking care of your body on the outside, almost like if you feel good on the outside and things like that, you feel good on the inside. And we've covered that a couple times in our lives prior to in self-care Saturday, like the first one we did, I think.
Yeah.
But we were talking about how important it is to make sure that you physically feel, you know, good, because we don't realize, like, you know, things like dopamine is real, endorphins are real, all those things are very, very real, and they impact like how we feel every single day. And activities like that directly affect that. Everything from your mood to what you're looking like to how you're perceiving the world comes from those activities. That's really interesting to me. Yeah. But yes, the counselor. What do you know about the counselor?
So basically, I started seeing my counselor at the age of 18.
Okay.
I'm 26 now. So it's kind of like, it's been a journey for me. I know within the Black community, it's kind of like kept taboo. Like, nobody, especially with men, like nobody want to hear about it or nobody want to talk about it. Yeah. It makes you look weak or this, that, and third. But I have to say that's been really one of the best experiences I ever had.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing to hear a Black guy that's our age to say that, because it's like a secret.
It really is. And like when I tell you, I just feel free when I talk to her.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Ooh. So, ain't nothing like feeling like the weight has been lifted off your shoulders.
That's awesome. I know we touched on this a little bit. It's like one of the things we were supposed to talk about, but I think now would be a good time to kind of introduce the question. Do you all feel like, or as an African American male and a young African American male at that, do you feel like it's support when it comes to you and expressing yourself and being able to talk about things? I mean, you kind of brushed on it a little bit, but I want to kind of dig a little deeper into that. Like, if there isn't any support, how do you get it? Like, where do you find your support?
With me personally, I have a mentor, and you know, I talk to him about it a lot. And it's kind of like one of those things to where, you know, growing up, I was always told to not show any kind of emotions because it's kind of like you're a man. So it's kind of now I really use my platform to kind of encourage people to, you know, go talk to a counselor. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or you can find you know, somebody that's, you know, you're comfortable with talking to.
Just talking.
Right.
Like, right.
Everybody needs to vent now.
Right. Yeah. That's the word. Can we just pause and say it's okay?
Yeah.
It's okay. And two, everybody needs to vent to somebody that they trust and can take the baggage when they vent to them. Because you can't give that information to everybody. You can't unload all all the negativity sometimes that you have on everybody. But it's also very a releasing feeling and a freeing feeling, like you said, to talk to someone and feel a relief, like to feel good after you're done. And you know, that's amazing. I love that. It's definitely a situation that people gotta consider. Like, man, I need to go talk to somebody. I think I should talk to somebody about this or that, or just life in general.
Yeah. Same way. 5 mentors for me. I just, but they serve me in different areas.
Yeah.
So that's going to be finances. You know, I remember one time my first mentor, Neil, I just told him I just showed him my bank statement and said, hey, I'm not doing right.
Somebody right. Some of the water ain't clean. Help me.
You know, fix me. And he did. He gave me some great accountability. Follows up with me periodically just to make sure I'm doing good. And then one of my aunties, Cynthia, she's my go-to for just who sees me. She knows when I'm not being myself. She
Aw.
knows when
That's good. That
Yeah.
somebody can see like,
Oh,
hey,
it's
you're
like-
wrong.
and hold you accountable, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, and I got other people, you know, if I just gotta talk about relationships, I'm currently dating or work related things. I got a manager I admire that I had a previous relationship with, a working relationship with.
Oh, had to
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah, we just, you know, we can talk. We can. I tell him my goals of what I'm gonna do this year, and he say, I think that's a go. I think you should invest in that. You know.
Yeah.
Good.
So, but yeah, mentorship is good. I think you had a question too about people that you date.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
they give you
That's
space
sport.
to be
Right.
Right.
that,
Right.
Right.
be that open as a man. Back in the day, when I used to date, probably not. But now I have kind of checked for healthy people that
Right.
are open,
Right.
that are,
Right.
you know, they're okay to receive me in
Mhm.
my full state.
Right.
The biggest thing,
I
is, I think you touched on something like really important was the capacity of it. And Allison, you touched on it a little bit too. It's like understanding people's capacity. I think what happens a lot of times when we get into relationships with people, friendship or otherwise, we're not aware of that person's like capacity to grow or what they, how can they grow with me or how can they take on, not necessarily take on my baggage, but just take on, be with me in the trenches type of thing. And I think like a lot of times, I'm weak. I
Be
think
with me in the trenches.
yeah, because I think
It's
a lot
the
of
thing.
times we get into these situations, especially when it comes to us taking care of ourselves, that it's not even a matter of, you know, nobody's there to listen, or it's like not even a matter of nobody's connected to me. It's like literally having somebody that has the capacity to grow with me in a healthy state, grow with me in a way where even if I'm not feeling aware of me, like you mentioned before, like aware of where I'm at, aware of what my feelings are, so that I can be encouraged to do what I need to do. A big thing about counseling, which is also, it's an amazing blessing that you were able to go see somebody and you've been able to grow with them consistently, but everybody can't afford that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, not only do we have the natural taboos that come with our culture, but then you also have the fact of like just healthcare related issues, like not being able to afford it. Like it's ridiculous. And so then for you to mention mentors, how important those mentors are, it's a way to, I'm not gonna say, because some people you do have to pay for your mentors and stuff, but that's like a roundabout way to get some type of encouragement, to get some type of accountability, like you mentioned, to get somebody that is at the capacity to handle your growth, you know, and connect yourself to that person. I think that's awesome. Awesome advice.
Right.
Amazing.
Also with, you know, counseling, you got different apps now. One is Headspace I use.
Mhm.
Very affordable, you know, $75, and you can have the counseling one-on-one, and it's going to become a lot popular as we
Yeah.
post COVID, where
Yeah.
you know you got Zoom, you're gonna have, you know, people not gonna be meeting no more in offices.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just gonna be straight one-on-one, you know, on your
Yeah.
phone. So I just want to encourage your audience on that too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We had it's really interesting. Matter of fact, right when COVID happened, I don't know, well, some people may or may not know, but I'm in school right now for counseling. I graduated in December. I'm at the University of Montebello, and what we've been talking, well, prior to when COVID just happened, they released a course. It was free for telemental health and telemental health training, because that was the conversation. Like all of our training for counseling and stuff like that has always been, you know, in-person things, like what you're supposed to do with your body, all this stuff. But all of that is going out of the window now because of what's going on as far as COVID is concerned, like health risks and things like that. And you're absolutely right. That's going to be the new norm. And it's like introducing, now is a better time than any to get into taking care of yourself on that level.
Yes. You're girl, you are on it. Because it's crazy that she said it, because even in my field of physical therapy, when COVID hit, it went to telehealth. Like everything was online. It was like, what? Physical therapy, you have to be in person with people, putting your hands on them and helping them and showing them what to do. So it was like a whole new mind frame of doing things. And it's crazy because we never thought we would be at this place, but we're here.
Right.
So now what are we going to do to take care of ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically going forward?
Right.
You know, like you said, you have mentors.
Yes.
Like, how did you even think to get a mentor for certain things? Did you like, hey, was it just specifically for professionals? Like, maybe I need a mentor in other areas of my life.
Such a good question, because mentors really don't pick you; you pick them.
Yeah.
And you have to have,
Yeah, right.
you have to have and I tell guys all the time, you have to have a humility about yourself that say, what am I lacking? And then if I admire something in someone, I admire their life, I look at their life, there's consistency there, then I'm comfortable to say, hey, I need you for this.
Right.
I need that in my life.
Right.
You know, I love how you love your wife. I love
Right.
how you handle money. I love how you are friends with so many people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I want to work a room like you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
Nice little self-awareness.
Right. Right. That's come on, self-awareness.
Yeah.
That's gonna stay with me to our next question, which is okay. So we talked a lot in our last segment in time management, and we talked about like self-reflection. It's like my favorite thing to say. It's maybe like my go-to thing, but self-reflection to me is so important. And you just touched on it. Taking that inventory about yourself, like what is it that I'm lacking? What places do I need to do better at? And I'm wondering, what is it that you guys do, or like what position, what put you in a position to be able to ask those questions, or like how do you ask yourself those questions? Like what's a checkup thing for you mentally, spiritually, or whatever the case, to make sure that you're on the right track, and that if you do need some help, like what are those steps to acknowledge that for yourself?
Kevin, I'm gonna let you have this.
So we definitely like,
That was a loaded question. My bad.
My birthday is this coming Monday. I'm a Virgo.
Woo
But those days are days of my reflection day. I'm so weird about that. But I just sit and I take it all in. You know, people who call me or text me or send me a message on Facebook, I reflect. And then I just ask myself, how am I doing? And what if one thing could get better, what could it be
Yeah.
in my life? And then okay, these are projects that I had for this year. What happened?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Ask yourself the hard questions.
Mhm.
Like my cousin, Josh, he's a sag, and that boy, he crazy. Like, he told me one time, he said, Kevin, you're talking too much.
Ooh.
I need you to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. And
Yeah.
he said, next time
Right.
I talk to you, the books need to be done. Next
Yeah.
time I talk to you, this need to be done. And-
Yeah.
he held you to account.
That accountability. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it better be done, or it's gonna be a problem.
Facts. So you know, that's what I kind of do.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm big on like organization because I'm like really all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind
That's
of
the mind. Okay.
but it's kind of like with me, I have to learn to slow down. Like, you know, just chill out. You got this. But I procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like now I go by organizer or planner or, you know, just write, like in my spare time, just write everything down. And I pitch it to my mentor and he'll say, hey, okay, so when do we need this done by? He held me accountable, and it's kind of like him holding me accountable. I don't want him fussing at me, so it's kind of like I need to do it.
Yeah.
So that's really how I kind of self-reflect. I just try to get organized with everything.
That's awesome.
That is.
That's
That is.
awesome.
It's amazing to have. When you have somebody holding you accountable, it gives you that push and that drive to get it done
Right.
on whatever level it is.
Right.
That's amazing.
But I think too, the level of humility it takes though to have that structure of accountability
Right.
and have that connection with someone enough to know like, okay, this is somebody, if they said it, I'm gonna do it. And I think that's another thing too. When it comes to, and this is, you know, I'm gonna say this. It's not my thing to say because I'm not a man, but I do think that sometimes it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm check myself there. I don't know nothing for real. I'm just talking like off what I've seen or whatever the case. But I think sometimes, you know, it's not just a man thing. It's a woman thing too. The pride aspect.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
pride aspect. The
Most
pride aspect.
definitely.
You even get into a place to be able to say, you know, yeah, I want to do better in this area. Let me stop and pause and let me look at myself for a second and see what's going on with me. I think that especially within our culture, it's like this whole thing of like, you know, you don't want to appear like anything's going on. You don't want to look like anything's messed up. You see what I'm saying?
We were
Like,
just
you know,
talking about that
That's
earlier.
But it's like you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to kind of keep it up. And then the
Yeah.
issue with that though is that you're suffering in silence constantly.
Right.
And you're not getting any help. You're not getting any assistance. And I think that if we can kind of continue to have these type of conversations and not only have these conversations, but go through whatever we're talking about, be that mentor for the next person and be willing to talk to somebody else, we can kind of eradicate that problem of people being so prideful and thinking that you have to have it all together because you just like, you know, you don't. You ain't got to. And you already know. You just don't.
Sis,
Everybody
sis.
knows.
We literally were talking about that earlier about how when we step out the house, we put our happy face on, we put the exterior of being strong and I have it all together, and my life is perfect, and my family's perfect, and this and that, and everything's fine. Nothing's wrong with me, and I'm not crying myself to sleep every night.
Yeah.
And you're literally suffering in silence because you're too afraid to speak up, or you're prideful when your best friend can help you, when there are literally people around you that genuinely love you and want you to succeed and want you to be happy. But if you don't reach out to people and keep faking the funk, like there's nothing wrong, you can't get better.
Right.
So like we have to stop the look of perfection.
Yeah.
We have to.
But not even that, other as confidants, we have to be responsible with what people give us.
There you go.
Mm.
You know,
There you go. If I had some, I'll throw it. If
prayer.
I had some, I'll throw it.
Yeah, you know, prayer requests that turn into gossip.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta protect a secret. Like you can't
Yeah.
just if someone confides to you, especially anybody, but black man does that. He trusts you.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't need to abuse that trust.
Right. Right. Even when when we were discussing like when you're in relationships with some, and I have to check myself sometimes with this as well, like cutting someone down in the middle of an argument, or cutting someone down when you're feeling like negative or whatever the case, or like if you and a friend fall out or something, sharing their business or whatever, like all those things are issues. Yeah, and they turn into traumatic experiences for people, like really traumatic experiences where they don't feel comfortable talking to anybody else again ever because the one time I opened my mouth or the one time I decided to share, you know, they reacted this way. And I think it's like a responsibility that we have when you know to a certain degree, like how things can impact somebody. You need to take responsibility then and like, just like you said, cater to that truth, cater to that honesty, cater to that vulnerability that somebody else, you know, shared.
You kind of have to create that safe place. Like this is a safe zone. This is a safe place for you to confide in me with something that's going on or happened in your past. And y'all both know that it won't leave that room.
Right.
So,
right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Y'all are amazing.
That's a nice little vibe.
Right.
Nice little
I
vibe.
feel it. I feel it.
Nice,
It's
nice.
all over the place. I love it.
So I'm wondering now that we've kind of established, like, you know, these different things when it comes down to you and just operating in America as African American males and things like that. What would you not only suggest to the next person, or what do you always constantly reminding yourself when it comes to like seeing traumatic experiences over national television? Every time you look at your phone newsfeed, somebody's getting killed, you're seeing another name having to be mentioned, and not just, you know, on national television, but in our own communities, people are dying all the time, you know. So like, how do you protect yourself? How do you protect your mind? How do you protect your spirit?
Me personally, I don't watch TV. Like I don't watch the news. I don't, because it's kind of like they're reminding us over and over and over, like this trauma. And it's like you got slavery. If you really think about it, we haven't been on slavery that long,
Right.
So it's kind of like everybody want to keep their foot on that neck because they see Black people like rising daily.
Right.
But at the same time, it's kind of like one of those things to where I just have to remind myself, hey, how can I be positive for this person?
Yeah.
Remind, you know, I have to lead by example, because if not, everybody, you know, even if you can't touch everybody, you'll touch one person. One person
Right.
touching this person.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how, you know, I try to do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's good.
That is
That's
really good. Being a leader and leading by example, and
Yeah.
you know, you don't have to reach the masses immediately,
Right.
but just that one seed will
Yeah.
just grow and flourish into more.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
thought I was the only one. I don't watch TV either.
Me either. Not on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right.
And my auntie used to always tell me when I was younger that we are our own news reporters.
Right.
You know, as you experience life, you got a story to tell. So don't depend on someone else to feed you what they want to feed you or meditate on. So that's something I share that same sentiment. You know, and unfollowing people. You know, just
Immediately.
negative. You know,
Real sweet.
The blockhand is strong.
Real quick.
but I love the unfollow and yet we still be friends.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
On Facebook,
The discreet way. The discreet
Like,
way. Yeah.
it's just so good. You know,
Yeah.
we never know
Yeah.
that we parted ways.
Right.
But yeah, that, and then keeping before you. I mean, me personally, I'm a believer, so I keep God's word before me, what He thinks of me, how He sees me, not how the world sees me, not how labels are being passed on us, so that we're dear or whatever they want to say. You know, I'm protected, I'm covered. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just have to, you know, I just really guard my mind in that area.
Mm-hmm. I've always been taught, like, and raised and things like that we all have gates. And these gates come from our senses, like our eyes, our ears, our mouths, our hands. All those things are feeding us constantly, and so we have to. We're the gatekeepers, and we're the gatekeepers in a sense of being aware of what we're saying, what's coming out of our mouth, what we're listening to, what we're watching. And it's like, whether you realize it or not, that's directly affecting how you operate every single day, even to the point of being desensitized, if not, to certain things. Like, if you keep showing somebody something over and over again, the reason why it's being shown to you so much is not just to keep re-inflicting that trauma, but to desensitize it to everyone else. Like, it becomes normal, and that's dangerous. Like,
so true.
you know, it's a point of just understanding that this is the norm. This is what happens every day. Like, oh, that's okay. Oh, it's terrifying. Yeah, it's not. It's not okay. There's nothing okay about it. And so to just be so aware of, like, what it is that's coming into you, I think is so important. Like, all the time, like, be aware of it, because you want to keep. There's a certain beauty in being able to be emotionally aware and being empathetic, even to when it comes to your fellow man, even if it's not just, you know, somebody that looks like you or anything like that, but just being able to still be empathetic. And I really think there's an attack on people's empathy. Like, at the end of the day, we just want you to be hard. We don't want you to feel nothing. We don't want you to operate in any type of and saving grace for anybody or anything like that. And I think the more we are aware and protect ourselves from that, it makes us keep our humanity. You know?
Right. That empathy, man, people lack it now.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, it didn't happen to you per se, but you should still feel a type of way. It should still, like, make you cry, make you feel like, wow. It should still trigger that response to make you care about people that don't necessarily look like you, don't have the same background as you, the same money as you, but you should still care to some degree.
Right, absolutely.
So just to piggyback off there, I feel like people get empathy and sympathy confused. So
Right.
They show sympathy when they should empathize.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. People do get confused now. I love that.
Absolutely. So there's some more things that we said we're gonna touch on. So we're gonna make sure we touch on those before we before we bring it to a close. One of those big things though, we want to make it a point that we touch on the power of saying no and what that looks like. Would you care to elaborate?
Sure. We were having this conversation, me and my sister, about, do men say no? And I mean, it's up for debate with the audience, but I don't think we're comfortable with saying no. I think we want to be the superhero. We want to. It's in our strength. It's in our power to act. We're gonna act. And so, like, let's just make this real. Say if your homeboy calling you with your girl, and your husband, he's in a jam. Are you okay with saying, hey, I can't do that right now?
Yeah.
Even today, my manager called me today. Hey, you want to come in today? Get some overtime? Oh, really? You know, but previously I worked 7 days prior. So you ain't thinking about
you
how
at all.
tired I am,
That
ain't crossed your mind.
But, you know, the old me would have been so tempted, like, let's go chase a bag real quick.
Yeah.
But no, like, this is my time. I got other commitments. Thank you for thinking of me, though.
Yeah.
She said, no problem.
Yeah. Ease it in there, because the next time I may need it. You know what I'm saying? But this time,
Right. But I think also with the power of saying no, sometimes it's the guilt that comes when we do say no.
Yeah.
And you'll trade popularity for respect when you learn to say no.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't say yes to everybody. And then when you know your purpose in life and that is higher than the job, is higher than what's going on right now, you'll know what to say no to.
I take off running right now.
Right.
Take off running that direction.
Right.
It's so true. That's so true. And it's so funny because we literally talked about this a little bit in our last little segment thing. But it's like literally being aware so much of, like, what your purpose is and who you are and the grand scheme of all of it. It's easy to say no then. It's easy to set boundaries then, you know? Super easy.
Basically, what I was just going to say is the power of saying no is basically setting those boundaries with people. I had some experiences where I'm literally like sick. I can't do anything. I can't move. And it's kind of like somebody called and said, "Hey, I need you to do this." Okay, let's go. Like, I was that person, but it's like now as I'm growing more and more to myself, I'm kind of like, you know what? That ain't for me. Like, I can do this at this time. Or, and I'm also learning people try to fit you into their schedule. So it's kind of like, yeah, like they don't care what you have going on.
Yeah.
But when I call you, hey, I need this at this time. But what about me? Like, I got you haven't asked how my day was going, how this going, nothing. You just know you need me.
Yeah.
It's like if I was like, well, hey, I can't do it. Well, when can you? Like, no.
Like,
Like,
I
no.
can't. Like, not when. Like, I can't.
It's enough for me.
But no, seriously, I used to have a big issue with telling people no, because it's like, again, like Kevin said, I felt guilty afterwards. So it's like, if I tell somebody I can't do something, then I'm like, you know what? I should come ahead and do this.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't want them to feel no type of way, but it's like now, I don't care how you look. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's about them.
Yeah. Come on, it's my Oh, wait.
So,
But I feel you on that, like 100%, especially with when I went to counseling, my counselor called it, she called it people pleasing and things like that. And when I look at like my personality, I'm not really into astrology, but I kind of am, because my personality and Pisces, like, it goes very, very close together. But either case, the desire to like want to do right for people, I'm super aware of people's like feelings, super aware of like when they're hurting and stuff like that. So it was a certain time, a point in my life where if you hit me with any type of like problem, I go into superwoman mode. I have to help you. Like, whatever it is that you need, I'll go out of my way to do it. Even if it's my last, even if I have 1,000 other things I'm supposed to be doing. It really was, I really understood now that it was because I wasn't aware of who I was. And it's like, I'm reaching this direction, that direction, not being aware of the value of my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and value of what that means. And so, like, people got in the habit of that. Just like you calling me, hit me up, or whatever the case. If I can't do it, it's an issue. Or now I'm worried, oh my gosh, I might lose my friend over me not doing this one thing. Well, if that's the case, then sis, that's not your friend.
Right.
That's not your friend
At all.
Right. It's like, if you can't say no, it's what relationship is there if it's so conditional, you know? If it's so conditional, so anything you do can just throw the whole thing away. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I love how you said it was because you didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
When you start dialing it in and say, who am I and what's my purpose and how am I connected to this person and what do they mean to me?
Yeah.
Then you start saying, well, I have to focus on me. I have to set boundaries. You know, I can still say no and love you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And we're still gonna be friends at the end of the day. And you know, understand that who you are, man, woman, you gotta know who you are first.
Yeah.
And then you can move forward.
That identity is crucial. And then you touched on something too, which was another thing we're gonna segue as well, is the friends relationship. Like, understanding who those friends are, understanding what that relationship looks like. And I think we're gonna share some more about that.
Yeah, I was inspired by this recent video I watched by T. Jakes. He was talking,
Right.
but he was talking to leaders, and he was talking about there's 3 types of friends in your life.
Yeah.
There's the constituency, comrade, and confidant.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if you have 3 confidants, you're doing well. These are the people that, hey, this is how it really is. This is how I really feel. I hate them. I can't stand what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm angry. I'm impatient. These are the type of people that you can be yourself around
Okay.
if you're alone.
Right.
And then also the constituencies are people you're mission minded. They may walk like a constituent, a confidant, but they're really about it, not you.
Yeah. They're about the goal. Yeah.
They're about the goal. They're about, let's get this done. Let's work together. Let's collaborate.
Right.
And so sometimes, I know I've had that problem before, where we marry the constituency, the ones who just, we want to do life with you. We want to keep. No, it wasn't about you.
Yeah.
It was about
The
what
goal.
you can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what you can provide.
Yeah.
And then the comrades are the people that, these are united by pain. These are dangerous relationships. Basically, I don't like you, I don't like it, but I am against what you're against.
Yeah.
And we got to know when we just got people around us that's gossiping, or around people that's, you know, I'm saying at the boss, I'm saying how he came at me today. You know, we're not friends.
Yeah.
But I am angry at what happened.
Right.
So, you know, and just that category of friends, I just thought it was good because Jesus himself did all 3.
Yeah.
while he was here. Like he had people who he was close to, Peter, and then he had people that was against him, Judas, but he worked with all of them to accomplish one mission.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just helpful
Yeah.
for me.
Very informative.
I think being able to compartmentalize relationships is
Mhm.
probably the best tool that we could ever have as a
Mhm.
person. Like, because it can be so easy, especially when you're doing something positive. You're aware of yourself, people can see it. Not only they see it, it becomes this big behind, glow
Mhm.
in the dark type light from a lighthouse, how many miles away. It don't matter what's going, people are gonna be able to see it. And just like anything, you attract everything. You attract the good just like you attract the bad. And you have to be able to be so in tune with yourself to be able to rightly divide those relationships, because what'll end up happening is people get attached to you again for the wrong reasons, just or even not even just attached to you again for the wrong reasons, but you have to check yourself too and be humble enough to see, like, okay, this person is still growing. Okay, this person, let me put my hands around you and protect you. You see what I'm saying? Those type of relationships. And then the ones that are like, okay, we're partners in this. And then the ones, okay, I can be weak with you. I can be honest with you. I can say I'm like this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all of those things are so very, very important. And especially when it comes down to protecting your mind. Because if you try to be a protector to somebody who is, trying to just do you wrong on the end, and you trying to be a person who is like trying to build a whole, like you said, a whole marriage or relationship, real strong, like forever type of thing with somebody that's only supposed to be there for a season, you mess yourself up.
Right.
It's to no fault of anybody but your own, because you wasn't paying attention.
So real.
Y'all,
sir. You had sir. Pot. I'm talking 45 minutes about. Okay. That ain't no
I hope y'all catching these gems.
Just-
Forward.
Let's go.
I'm like, it's beautiful. But anyway,
Yeah.
Tara, would you have something you'd like to add to the friend conversation?
Right.
Yeah, just like send me to others, but but no, honestly, everything Kevin Bow shared was great. One thing I would just add to it is basically, when do you know to cut those bad friends off? Because I feel like what you said, it got to be, you attract everything, you attract good and bad. I feel like the bad is there to kind of teach you.
Yeah.
But it's like, you got to have that balance. And when is a good time to get rid of the bad? And just.
That's a really good question.
I kind of think, honestly, you have to, that's the whole thing about you knowing yourself part, And it's like, once you kind of get to a place where you have to, if you ever have to deviate from who you are to maintain a relationship, it's gotta go. If you find yourself having to coach yourself before you go and interact with this person, if you find yourself every time you have a conversation with them, you're like replaying the conversation in your mind as to whether or not, what their intentions are, then that's when it's time. You gotta look at something right. If you feeling that type of way, but you gotta be in tune with yourself first,
Yeah.
That's my take.
I mean, since you hitting that nail on the head, you good. You good. I agree with you 100%. If you know yourself, when you're vibrating high, when you're feeling good, or when you're even operating on high levels. And if you're talking to somebody and you're like, dang, I feel like we argue every time I see them.
Yeah.
Or I feel like every time I leave, I'm drained. Or, I feel like I'm pouring into them so much, but they don't never pour back into me.
That's the one.
You start checking those things like, now, they cute, they fine, they got it going on. They got the job, they got all these things, but they making you feel a certain type of way. It ain't always good when y'all together. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm gonna have to take the high road because you just not the one for me. We can still be friends. We can be co-workers. We can be friends in the street. Hey, how you doing? Whatever. But we don't have to go down the avenue of relationship.
Yeah.
We don't have to continue pouring into each other in that way.
Right. Right. I think too, another thing is like, when you get that confidence in yourself as well, it's like understanding that it's okay to be by yourself if you gotta be. You can't be afraid of that ever.
Right. Yeah.
And I think sometimes we are in spaces like where we're not supposed to be forever alone, because we think that we aren't supposed to be alone. But it's like sometimes that's like when you gain the most knowledge about yourself is when you're by yourself. And so you can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid to like walk alone. I'm not mean like just romantically, but I mean like friendships wise either. Like sometimes stuff you gotta do, it's not gonna make sense to nobody else in your circle, and then that just needs to top a new circle. Like,
Right. Ooh, that's so real. I've been doing a quote of the day, and when you said that, it made me think of a quote that when somebody knows what they bring to the table, they're not afraid to eat alone.
yeah,
Like,
that's it. That's
when
it.
you know what you bring to the table,
That's it.
you're not afraid to eat alone.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm good.
right. 'Cause
You
you
can
know-
stay by myself.
Yeah. And then it's like the other thing about it too, you can't possibly think that if everything else in your life is aligning, that those relationships that are meant for you work too. Like you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it could be that the slate is just getting clear, the table is being clear so that the right people can be sitting at that table. You see what I'm saying? Like so that energy that's supposed to be there is supposed to be there. But if you still holding on to like, oh, but we've been friends since kindergarten, and that's whoop whoop them, and I hold them down, they hold me down. Okay, that's fine. You whoop whoop them, gonna be still sitting there at this little table at Applebee's. Y'all supposed to be at Perry somewhere.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's fine. You know, no chance to
Right.
Applebee's. I love Applebee's. But I'm just saying though, like, there's a
Right.
level up that can come,
There's a level up.
but sometimes it won't come unless you have the right people around you.
Correct.
You can't even get yourself mentally straight in the first place. King cares don't exist until you have the right people around you in the first place. If you have the wrong relationships, they will lead you down the wrong direction. They will influence you in the negative way, and you won't have these mentors pouring into you positively, or the idea to go to counseling or the encouragement to go to counseling like you're supposed to. If you don't have the right people around you, that's
Right.
it.
We talked about that in previous Self-Care Saturday.
Yeah,
It's about your community. It's about your squad.
yeah,
You know, who's pouring into you. Are
Yeah.
they lifting you up or they bringing you down?
yeah.
Check your team all the time.
My pastor has this book, and I read it when I was like 16 and 17 years old, and it still resonates to me with that. The title of it is Bridges or Burdens. And it's like you have these relationships. Ever since then, everybody's been on a filter. You either a bridge or you're a burden. They're either somebody helping you get to where you're supposed to go, or they're adding more pressure and more weight to where you're supposed to be. And you don't want to be in a space where you can't get to your full purpose and who you're supposed to be because you are so focused on helping this person who is literally just a burden. They're keeping you from where you're supposed to be. Yeah. It's terrible. You can love them from a distance and be like, all right, establish.
Space is love too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see if we got anything else on the agenda. Okay, so I think we're at our closing time, I would say. But there's two things. There's also another thing I want to do. So we have a giveaway that we do every
You do giveaways
every Saturday.
Awesome.
But so this time, what we want to do is allow you guys to kind of determine what we give away or like what we do or what you feel like would be beneficial. And we can kind of like figure that out or whatever the case. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, what do y'all think?
What you think?
Y'all would know what men really want.
Because you know you're men.
Yeah,
So, you know,
skincare.
skincare segment. So we think that you guys should be the one.
For a haircut.
Cash
Come on, cash
out
up for a haircut. I like it. I like the cash up for a haircut. Cash up for a haircut.
Oh, what a cool.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Cash up for some haircut. So we're gonna give whoever participates in the raffle. We'll give you some more details about that. But if you participate in the raffle, we'll do like a hashtag king care thing.
Yeah.
I think hashtag king
If
care.
y'all getting the money to get the haircut, we need either a picture that y'all got the haircut, represent King Care,
Or even
a
like
tag, a
before,
photo.
yeah, or even like before, like that's how we do the raffle. We'll do like, okay, boom, here it goes. What you're gonna do for like the next week, okay, is you're going to put hashtag King's Care. And
Yeah.
whatever that is, either you're doing something for a young man, or you are the young man said young man, and you are doing, you know, the thing that is King Care. So that can be anything from anything we listed today,
Right. Anything that we
walk,
listed today.
doing your haircut, getting your manicure, pedicure,
Talking to your
massage,
mentor.
talking to your mentors, getting your agenda,
Looking for a black counselor.
counselor, getting your agenda together, getting your journals right, writing down your stuff, whatever
Right.
it is.
Setting
you put
boundaries.
all that. Every time when you before you put the block button, just screenshot the block button and then post it to your story and be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm playing under that. That's messy. But anyway, that was funny. All right.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna do though, I'm sorry, is you're gonna put on there, you're gonna put hashtag King's Care, and then we'll put you in the raffle, and we'll give $50 for some haircuts. How much a haircut cost? $50, $20?
$50.
What's she going?
I don't know how much does a haircut cost?
I'm off. I paid 25.
25. So 2 haircuts.
How much was
I paid 20, so.
So 2 haircuts. We're gonna give you 2 haircuts and the tip for King Care. There we go. All right. So 2 haircuts and kid. That's what we're doing. Or we're gonna have to No, we'll just do a snippet of this and then replay this little snippet where we're talking about what you're gonna do for your raffle instead of making a whole new video. That's
Right.
gonna be too much. Okay, so anyway, here we go. So what we want to first of all, again, thank you guys so much for doing this. I appreciate
Thank y'all
Thank
so
y'all.
Conversation
much.
live. Y'all are
Really appreciate
amazing.
it.
I appreciate all the gems, I learned so much.
Me too.
All right, so well, what I want you all to share with the people. Oh wait, I have another segue question. This one real important. So if you're in a relationship with that person, right? If you're in a relationship with them, what can they do to help you, to encourage you with your mental health? If you're in a relationship, a romantic relationship, this is your woman, y'all are together, and
That's
the
right.
ideal that we talked about is like, oh, you gotta be strong, you gotta do all this kind of stuff. How can you let that person, or how can they let you know that it's okay to express to be open and honest?
Glad
And
you brought that up.
So I got a 2-part answer to this.
come on, support.
So biggest thing is what works for me is space. Like I feel like you have to get allow that person their space
Mhm.
in order to kind of regroup, and then just like if she's just gonna be there for you, then be there for you, and like have a clear vision and open it like an ear just to listen.
Mm.
Because it's kind of like sometimes like we don't need like a feedback or something saying, hey, well, it's gonna be like that's cool, but sometimes we just need you to listen.
Mm.
And it's kind of like once you listen and give us that space, it's like we can think, we can regroup. Because if you really think about it, the world is really kind of on our shoulders.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we got to be strong. So what's better than just letting us just regroup
Mm.
and chill?
That's good.
That's good, man.
That's
Good.
good.
Take that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a pin in that.
Regroup with the
Listen.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, for me, things that people won't know about you just by looking at you. I struggle with a lot of doubt.
Mm.
And that's so surprising to people that's close to me. But and my love language is words of affirmation.
Mhm.
So a woman that prays for me, encourages me
Yeah.
at the right time, or the text message, I don't know. It's just something about women. They just have this inkling that, hey, you got this, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Motivated.
and part of it, and it's just a gift, a natural gift of a woman to encourage. And as a man, our ego, when it's in check, it's healthy. I think God put that in us.
Mhm.
That when a woman is affirming that, not being extra, but I mean, I like extra, but I'm just saying, but it's timely, it's right at the right time. We can take on the world when we got that woman that's just
Come on, support. Period.
Right.
that's mine.
I like
we got
it.
this.
I like it.
Yeah.
Queen stuff. That's queen stuff. We talking about King Kevin. That's a queen flower right there. That's okay. Anyway, all right, very good. That was awesome, y'all. Thank you so much for that feedback. That was a very important question that needs to be answered, and I'm happy I asked it because it was very, very good.
Yes.
Okay, so last thing. Again, thank y'all so much for sharing with us. But what do you want the viewers, somebody that's watching this, your man, your woman, whomever that's watching this, to take away from this segment?
I'm so glad y'all did it. That's so caring of y'all Black women to think of this as a need, because it is that men, no matter how strong, how tough we are, we're still human.
Yeah.
We still make mistakes. We still very vulnerable. We like being vulnerable. We like being weak with the right people, not everybody.
Yeah.
But with that one that we really trust,
yeah.
you don't see all of this.
All of this.
And be okay with that. And if your man is not that guy, he's always Superman or just tough, gotta have the answer. Give him space and tell him, hey, it's okay
Yeah.
to tell me you're scared. It's okay to tell me that you don't know the answers.
Right.
You okay with just those type of things. That's all I'm saying.
So basically, what I would want them to take away from this is to piggyback off of that as well, is to say no. Like you don't have to make somebody else's stress your stress. Like, you just have to learn how to say no and feel okay with it. Like, because you can't pour from an empty glass. So
Yeah.
it's like you have to have you
Yeah.
first. Put you first. That's not being selfish. It's just it's needed.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything you'd like to share with the people, Allison?
I am so excited that y'all answered the call and came and helped us with this segment. It was amazing. Like it's the feedback, the conversation, so good.
I learned a lot from you. And I want to say, because it's so rare for Black men, especially to talk, express themselves. And, I just believe, I hope it's going to encourage men to just open up.
Right, have
We
these
wanna hear from
conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we all learn from each other.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, because it's like the way y'all ask a question and then the way Kevin is like responding is making me think like I could be better. Like
That's
yes.
lit. I might cry.
Y'all got a kid.
Y'all,
Like,
But no, seriously, like it's really like I feel like this was very empowering. Like, and I really do hope it's like gonna encourage a lot more like us as Black men to kind of speak up and go talk to somebody. This just really made my day. So
That's what's up. Okay, well, what I want to say to y'all is that I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all my people, y'all my people, y'all my people. And
Right.
this is what this is for. This is what this is for. This is what this is for. I had a father who I love. I have a brother who I love. I have cousins and family members who I love. I have people, students who I love, and things like that. And I'm hoping that after watching this segment that people are encouraged, uplifted, and inspired to like take care of yourself. The world needs you. We need 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 your gifts. We need your talents, and we need your purpose. So please take care of yourself. Please
yeah.
take care of yourself.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
I
Please.
love it.
I love you.
Please.
Okay.
Lucky.
Okay. Sorry. My bad.
Self-care for you.
Right. Period. Big time. That's
Have a conversation.
That's a real takeaway.
Like,
the real takeaway.
the
is
real
that self-care
takeaway.
is for everyone.
Yes.
Self-care is for everyone.
Self-care
It's for you.
is for you
It's
too.
for you. You over there. And even you there in the back. It's for you. It's for all
Yes.
of us.
Continue
Self-care.
having these conversations.
Yeah.
In safe spaces.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
continue having these conversations.
Find your people and stuff like that so y'all can do
Right.
stuff like this. And please do know that this is just the first of many King Care segments. This is the thing. It's going to be a thing. I can feel it being a thing.
Right.
So this is the first of many King Care segments. Again, thank you so much, Kevin and Daryl, for visiting
Thank
us
you
today.
guys.
You
Y'all
guys,
amazing.
please do follow them. Can y'all mention your like accounts and stuff like that so people can follow you?
Instagram, Facebook.
So my Instagram is _
I was about to say, do you remember?
no, it's _ Herura Creations, and that's HERURA Creations. Facebook, you can find me Daryl Herura. That's about it.
Liddy.
Instagram, Kevin Ray _rare man. And then Facebook, Kevin Ray.
Lit. All right. So you got their handles.
Right.
You follow them. Be on the lookout for the book. Be on the lookout for the podcast. Be on the lookout for the launch in November. Just be on the lookout. These men are doing amazing things. I'm so proud of y'all. I love y'all. Love y'all. And yeah.
Love
Okay,
you
so-
guys.
All that. All right, y'all. So bye. See you later.
Bye,
Thank you for
y'all. Have a
coming
good
in.
one.
That was lit.
It was.
That was good.
That was a whole vibe.
Thank you.